As you can see, we're going to start off with a news breakdown. So we're going to start off with a lot of USD news throughout the week and GBP news throughout the week, and I think that's going to be a good indicator that the week is going to be very, very volatile, as you'll see even on the first day. This Drake candle wick got me out because I thought we were going to go for USD sells, but we're going to look at the week right now. FEG right here, so we're going to start off with this FEG that I highlighted, and then we have this FEG as well, which is very key, as I do think that I should have been looking at both situations, but I was looking at this FEG right here and I was looking for DXY just to go up like this, but obviously it just didn't. Obviously a reverse for the first week of December, and I think I got stopped out. But we'll go into the first trade breakdown of the week. So obviously, as you can see on the Monday, you can see a nice tap into the monthly FEG and then a nice rejection up, which is a very good sign when I was looking on Monday, as I was expecting it to just go up to these highs, and I was expecting a obviously draw to draw, so obviously this would be the next draw for me and I would probably tackle that, but luckily I didn't trade on that day. I traded on Tuesday expecting that, but we can also go in depth with that trade. But as I said again, I didn't touch Monday's trade at all, entertain it. Okay, so when we are thinking about this, so we've got Monday right here, nice little tap and then a nice rejection down into these lows. So what I'm thinking is I entered the trade right here, this was my draw as I said again, and then this was my stop loss right here. So entered that 4-hour FEG. Obviously it went down thinking that it was going to go down, and then I went up and then I took minus 2% on both my 10k accounts because I was very confident in this, even though I should have just rotated trades. But yeah, we'll go on to the next trade on the Wednesday. And as you can see, I took another loss as well. So I thought this would be the draw and then it'd go down. So DXY obviously strengthens and goes down into that next point, but it didn't. I got wicked out again. So that's when I started trading for the day. That was on both accounts as well again, and that's a minus 2%, and then I got onto minus 4% on both my accounts overall, which is pretty bad for the start of the week. Bearing in mind it's only been 2 days, but yeah, that's when I had to think about my bias, maybe switching it up and maybe looking at the FEG a different way. But yeah, as I said again, I just got wicked out. Simple as, it wasn't really hard, but yeah, I was just a little bit confused. Well, on the Thursday now, as you can see, we've got a nice rejection down. So Thursday's obviously gone up and it's gone down, which is a very nice move for me. And that's when this was my literal last attempt, like until Friday. So I'm looking at the chart and I said, oh, I'm seeing a lot of movement down. So I've entered on this FEG. And then I just get stopped out again eventually, because obviously I've covered my whole FEG as a trade and aiming for the same lows as again, and it just did not work. And I think that's when I knew, like, I was just on a losing streak, and then 2% again on both accounts, even though I should have rotated trades, which is really bad. And then I tried re-entering on one of my accounts, took another 2% as well. So my account's basically on 8% drawdown, the other one's on 6%. And then that's when my mind kind of switched and I was like, okay, let me just start doing it again, in a sense of the next trade is my last trade, obviously. And then the next trade I'm going to do is going to be on one of my accounts. So this is when I start rotating trades, because I knew the week was ending and I was like, okay, let me just try and see if I can bring one account back and maybe leave the other account for next week, but you'll see what happens after. On the next day, Friday, so Friday is obviously going down and then going up, and then obviously it's such a big displacement. I'm just like, okay, let me just trade lower again and try re-entering on the Friday, because my bias was still very strong at that moment. Where like obviously I was looking and I thought, oh, maybe it might reverse. But yeah, I wasn't looking at the first monthly FEG where it might have tapped up and then DXY going lower, which I might look at next week as well. But obviously I've entered the trade as well in this FEG, and then I just got wicked out again. I didn't even put my stop loss where it's supposed to be, so literally just right here. Supposed to put it right here. But yeah, so one account is down, and then obviously that's gone. And then I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is the last time I'm really gonna re-enter on my last accounts. So this account is on 6-7% drawdown, and then I take the proper trade with proper risk. I took one trade like this. I think I took profit right here, so I think I risked maybe 2%, so on a 7 to 6% drawdown. So I made like all my profits back, and then I made another trade like this as well with 5 RR with my account. So, and then I risked 1% with a scaling as well. So this was my original trade for this FEG right here. Let me just show you. Yeah, so this is my original trade with the FEG marks, and then the next one was just a normal scaling. So right here I just scaled in because I thought this was gonna be like just like an FEG in general, or like the whole thing looks like an FEG. So yeah, just a normal scaling, scaled in, obviously move my scaling right there. So you got one FEG right here. I went down. This is at the end of the week, so it might be looking good for next week as well. And then we've got this trade, these two trades right here. So right here, after a couple hours I put out my stop loss. So around when it was here, this closed my trade, and then I've got this trade as well, and then I put my trade on stop loss as well. But yeah, it tapped my it didn't get tapped by a couple pips. So right now I'm up on my accounts basically like 6-7%, I think. I'll show a screenshot right now, and then obviously it didn't touch it, so I'm hoping for it to maybe come down. But right now it's looking like it might come down because it entered this 4-hour FEG, and obviously it didn't go up. It's just been obviously trying to go down, but we'll have to see in a couple hours, obviously, because market is going to open on UK 10 PM. But yeah, overall the week is okay. I should be able to pass my phase 1 next week, hopefully. Maybe get a new account, new 10k for next week, and maybe scaling up that account and not hopefully losing it. But maybe for a note for next time to always rotate trades throughout next week as well. But yeah,